Okay, so I get asked a lot, when does this all make sense again, right? When should I consider investing in real estate and what should I buy? So in this video, I'm going to go over when I think it makes sense to buy and what I personally would invest in. So I want to start off by showing you this, okay? And I'm not marketing this listing. This is somebody else's listing, but this is a $789,000 detached home with a suite, 5-bed, 2-bath, almost 2,500 square foot home. Says great investment slash renovation opportunity. So obviously it probably needs some work. It's apparently a 6-bedroom, 2 kitchens, which is basically code for unauthorized suite, 2 full baths, and a large 7,700 square foot, 77 by 100 feet deep. So I believe in this area, I'm not 100% sure, but that would meet the minimum requirements for subdivision. If not subdivision, you could probably do a duplex on this lot in the future, and you could potentially use that as an exit as opposed to maybe just doing some lipstick and then selling it, right? You might actually be able to increase your return by doing a subdivision or building a duplex, or maybe building a duplex, then renting that out, or any kind of makeup of that, or, do something like that, right? So it also has a detached shop, RV parking. You're close to District 1881, which is a cool little area. If you've never been there, highly recommend you go, especially during Christmas. It is freaking amazing. It's like a Hallmark movie. It's a really cool area. So this property right now, as time of recording, is actually rented for $3,900 a month. And if you pull up the mortgage on something like this, 20% down, 30-year amortization, the mortgage is only $3,000. So even if you add in the property tax, the insurance, the maintenance, you're probably still going to be cash flowing positively a couple $100 a month. Now, I would say even if you were cash flow neutral on this, it would make sense to buy this, right? But now you can pick up land. There's not too many of them, but the odd one is coming up now in 𝐎𝐿𝐶 where you can actually buy land and be cash flow positive on it. Now, here's another one. This is 11,000 square foot lot in 𝐎𝐿𝐶 that also has 2 kitchens for $749, right? It's a smaller home, but I'm sure this one, you might need to do some work to maybe finish off the unauthorized suite or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Do your own research. But something like this could be another good option if you were an investor. And again, the reason why I like land is if you look at the total inventory for 𝐎𝐿𝐶 detached, it doesn't look that high. Like, yeah, it is higher than, most of the time from what we've seen historically, but it's not crazy high and it's not at all-time highs as we're speaking right now. And the reason why I love detached is every year we tear them down, and we're not really building any of them, right? So actually every single year, the overall supply of detached homes it constricts. There is less available to purchase in the overall market because we're knocking them down, replacing them with condos and townhomes. Now they're talking about this MERV provision where there's going to be probably a lot more rental construction going on. The government is trying to subsidize or incentivize rental construction. And I could see 𝐎𝐿𝐶 being a hotspot for that because the rents aren't too different from like Langley, but the prices are substantially lower. So the cash flow numbers are a bit better. There's not a lot of inventory as it is in 𝐎𝐿𝐶. And every year we're knocking them down. We're not really replacing them with single family homes. And it's already cash flow positive as it is for some of these properties. So I would say that this literally makes sense right now, time of recording. And the thing about this, and the reason why I specifically like 𝐎𝐿𝐶 over like Surrey, Langley, Vancouver, Burnaby, somewhere closer to the metropolitan area, is the fact that I can put less money down. Therefore, there's a lot less risk. Like if I'm buying a $770,000 detached home, the down payment is $155,000, whatever it is. And I'm also spreading my risk across 2 tenants, which is something that people are really worried about right now because tenants basically have all the rights in our market. They can they can trash your house, not pay you rent, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. Well, at least if you buy a detached home with a suite, you're spreading that risk over 2 tenants as opposed to a 1 or 2 bed condo or a townhome where you would just have the 1 tenant, and if they're not paying you any rent, then you're receiving nothing. And you talk about detached, and specifically detached in 𝐎𝐿𝐶 that are now the odd one is cash flow positive, I think it's looking like a pretty good time, right? I'm going to get chewed up in the comments for that. But again, you look at the inventory, it's not that high. It's contracting every single year because we're knocking them down. and they're already cash flow positive as it is right now. At least the odd one is. And, I'm looking at a lot of these detached homes in Chilliwack, and they're listed in the 700s. And I go and I check the listing history, and the person who bought it paid $1 million, paid $950, paid $900. So, we've seen 30% drop off here. Like this was the median price at the peak, 1.115 million. Now it's 861,000. So whatever that is, that's probably close to 30% right there on the median price. But yeah, there's a lot of homes that I'm seeing. I'm pulling the history, and the person who's selling it is taking a 25% loss on that home. And even though time of recording, detached homes have actually fallen further than condos, and some people would say, well, that means that there could be more downside in the detached. Fair enough, but I just feel like it's a pretty safe investment knowing that the overall supply contracts every year. And yes, we have negative population growth at the moment, but I don't expect that to be the case indefinitely. At some point, the population will probably start growing again. There'll be less overall detached homes available to purchase in the overall supply. And I feel like at some point, you got to start making money on this thing, cash flow aside. And if you're interested in potentially picking up one of these for yourself or your kid or for retirement or something like that, you can use the booking link down below to book a time to chat with me. I'm that Agent Kelly. Appreciate you for watching. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.